Input and interaction in second language learning. Let us now see how can we understand second language learning from an interactionist perspective. In an interactionist perspective focuses a lot on the environmental factors within which the second language learner is situated. It pays a lot of attention to the input that is received by the second language learner because they argue that this environment in which they are situated and this input has an impact on their second language learning. Following suit from the functionalist approach, your interactionist approach also focuses on the output of the second language learner. So they do try to understand the language produced by the second language learner. However, it wants to see and understand that output within the given context of interaction and negotiation. So it does not see it as isolated items of language, but sees them within the interaction or negotiation that has taken place. Now, an interactionist perspective does not challenge the concepts of autonomous language module. You would remember that universal grammar researchers have always argued that there is in the minds of children and adults, of course, this innate capability of processing language, and all language learning, although the input to everyone is not of a superior quality, the language is learned because we have this innate capability to, or innate grammar to fix the problems of the input. It also does not argue against the cognitive mechanisms that are in the mind of the second language and the processes that take place when they are trying to process second language input. It does not meddle with any of these issues. However, what it does is that it adds to these concepts. It expands the scope or the net of the second language learning understanding, and it brings in the role of environment. What role does environment play? What role does context play? The role of interaction, the role of input, the type of input that is coming, and then what is the output. So it tries to study language more holistically. So if the concept of environment is not so clear, let me give you an example of a second language learner who is learning a language here in Pakistan and who has no exposure to English language, for instance, either at home or in peers, or compare that this person or this child with someone who is learning a language in England, where he or she has just migrated, and this child then has a lot of input, a lot of English language spoken in the given environment. The progress made by between them will definitely differ. And these are the features that interactionist approach highlights. Now, this focus on input we can safely say has been inspired by Krashen's input hypothesis. As you would remember that Krashen claimed that comprehensive input and comprehensible input also. So comprehensive means an input in sufficient quantity, and when I say comprehensible, then it means an input which is understandable by the learner is the necessary condition for the learning of second language. And it really depends on the affective filter or the emotional state or the learning attitude of the learner, that how much receptive that learner is to the input that is coming in, that will determine his or her success in second language learning. So your interactionist approach is inspired from what we say Krashen's input, comprehensible input hypothesis.